Hello, all, and welcome back to Go with the Flow Yoga with Anissa. Today, we are going to do a full body flow that shouldn't be too lengthy, but don't quote me on that. The two things that you'll need for this yoga flow are your two yoga blocks, and that's about it. So, you can meet me on your mat. So, gently making your way down to your knees. Add in a little bit of cushion underneath your knees if you need to. Arriving in tabletop, you just want to make sure that the wrists are stacked under the shoulders here. The knees are hip width apart. On an inhale, we drop the belly into cat. Taking our gaze forward, exhaling, rounding the back into cow. Inhaling, looking forward, raising the corners of your mouth. Exhaling into cow. One more round. Inhaling into cat, looking forward to all that this flow has in store for us. Exhaling into cow. Curling the toes under, sending the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Taking a moment to just pedal out through the knees here, warming up the legs, getting us ready for this flow ahead of us. Dropping the heels to the mat and letting the head be heavy here. Inhaling to bring the right knee up and into the chest. We drop our foot, using our hand to guide it up and centered into the mat. We meet in a low lunge. Back toes curled under. Taking a moment here to just rock back and forth for 2 deep breaths. On your next inhale, use your core to lift you all the way up into a high lunge. Interlacing the fingers. Dropping the shoulders down the back here. Exhaling to straighten the front leg and pivoting the back left foot towards the front left corner of the mat. Slowly we bring our hands up above head and all the way down past the feet to meet in pyramid. Bringing the back foot in a little bit if you need to. Nothing wrong with that. If your hands don't reach all the way to the mat, you can bring 2 blocks in front of you here, a little bit past your toes, to also meet in pyramid. Inhaling to move your blocks out of the way as we walk our hands into the center of our mat here, meeting in a wide-legged forward fold. You can heel toe the feet wider if you like, or you can leave them wherever you land. Also, you can bring your blocks here, placing them one on top of the other to rest your forehead on here. Bringing the arms all the way to the ground. Being sure to really hinge from your hips to get a nice deep forward fold. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. Exhaling to look forward a little bit, pointing both of the toes to the left corners here, so the back corner and the top corner. Slowly, we are going to roll the body up, meeting ourselves in goddess with cactus arms. So with the elbows bent here, tucking the pelvic bone in, elongating through the crown. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Straightening our stance, bringing our hands above head, just to catch our breath for a second. Now taking our hands to our hips to pivot the left foot back up to the front left corner. Excuse me, I am always burping throughout my flows. Grab one of your blocks as you turn your right foot to the front of the mat. Bending the front left knee. We meet in extended side angle. So first you want to bring your arm up high and then bring it over. The left arm. Gazing down at the ground or forward. One more deep breath here. Exhaling to bring the left hand all the way down to the mat. Moving your block out the way. Bringing both hands to frame the front foot. We're gonna step the back left leg up. Inhaling to bring our fingertips all the way up the legs. Letting our thumbs land in the hip creases here. We bend the knees, tuck the hips back, swing the arms up to be parallel with the ears, meeting in chair. Last deep breath here. Exhaling to straighten the legs, letting the hands circle all the way down, meeting in ragdoll. Swinging the arms forward and backwards or left to right. Bringing both hands on the mat gently. We want to firmly plant our hands, bend our knees, and hop back into plank. Holding here for 3 deep breaths. Exhaling to slowly bring the knees back to the earth here. Spreading the fingertips wide, we inhale, meeting in cat. Exhale to roll into cow. Inhaling one. Again, into cat. Exhaling into cow. Our last cycle. Take your time. Syncing up fully with your breath here. Inhaling into cat. Taking our gaze forward. Exhaling into cow. Returning back to neutral spine, we curl the toes under, sending the hips back, down, and up into downward facing dog. Bringing both heels to touch the ground. If that's available to you. If not, you can keep the heels lifted here. Inhaling to bring the left leg up and in. Exhaling to drop it in front of you, using your hand to guide that foot up in the center. Straightening your right leg with the toes curled under. We meet in a low lunge. Rocking here for 2 deep breaths. Forward and backward. Inhaling to bring us up into a high lunge. Sinking the shoulders down the back here. Bringing the palms to touch or keeping the hands wide. Breathing deep into our belly. One more deep breath. Exhaling to bring the hands to the hips. Stepping the right foot in a little bit. Pivoting your back foot to the front right corner of your mat. Straightening the left leg out in front of you. Grab a block. We'll grab both of your blocks if needed to meet in pyramid. Hinging from your hips to bend forward over your leg. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. Bring in your head as close to your knee as possible. Exhaling to bend your knee, turning your toes in, walking the hands around to the center of your mat. Now heel toeing our feet out to be at both right corners. So the top right corner and the bottom right corner. That's where your feet should be pointing. Inhaling to slowly bring ourselves up into goddess, cactusing the arms. We're here for 3 deep breaths. You got this. Exhaling to bring the hands to your hips. You want to keep your back right foot parallel with the back of your mat as you turn your left foot to the front of the mat, bending your knee generously, grabbing your mat here. We meet an extended side angle, bringing the right hand up and over the head here. Breathing deep into the belly. Exhaling to bring the right hand down to the mat and then the left hand, slowly stepping the right foot back up. Take it a second to reset here. Inhaling to run our fingertips up the legs here. Bringing the thumbs to the hip creases, sinking down and back. Sweeping the arms up to be parallel with the ears. We meet in our last chair. Oh, exhaling to rain it all down, meeting in ragdoll. Exhaling to plant your hands firmly on the mat. You want to step your feet back into plank. Being sure not to have the booty in the air, the whole back body should be a straight line here. Exhaling to send the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Inhaling to bring the left leg up and in, dropping the foot to firmly be on the ground. As we drop the right leg to the ground, our knees should lower naturally. Bringing a block between where your booty should be on the mat, in the mat. We meet in pigeon pose. Extending up through our chest here. Two more deep breaths. Exhaling to bring the hands in front of us and maybe lowering down to the forearms here. Bringing our head and heart to hover over the mat here. Still firmly pressing through that back leg that's on the mat. Inhaling to bring us back up. Removing the block here. Slowly unraveling out of this pose, whichever way is comfortable for you, that's the way you should move. Bringing both of the toes tucked, we send the hips back and up into downward facing dog. Inhaling to drop the heels. On our next inhale, we bring the right leg up and in, slowly dropping our foot to the ground, lowering down on our back left leg this time. Bringing a block to lift us up here as we meet in pigeon on the right leg. Tenting the hands on the outside of your knees here, or your knee. Shining your heart far forward and up. I can't talk. Taking big, loving, deep breaths here to really sink into this pose. Exhaling to bring the forearms to the mat. Bringing our head and heart to gently just hover over the mat here. Engaging our core to keep a straight back. Inhaling to bring our heart back up. Removing the block from underneath the right bone. Now sitting down on that right booty cheek. You want to swing the left leg forward. Bringing both legs to extend in front of us. Adjusting your clothes if you need to. Taking a moment here to just breathe and reset. Bending the knees with the feet flexed. We bring our arms up and over. To grab onto the sides of our feet if that's available. If not, you can let your hands rest on your mat. Or you can take your L's and grab your pinky toe. Grab your big toe. And slowly begin to straighten the legs out as you forward fold all the way. Bringing our head as close to the knee as possible. We are going to take 3 deep breaths in this seated forward fold. Inhaling through the nose and out the mouth. One more. Exhaling to bring the hands all the way up the legs. You may or may not need your blocks for this next move. We are going to bring ourselves into a supine twist. So you can use one block or you can use both blocks, whatever is best for you. Bringing our feet to firmly touch the mat, we are going to lower down to our backs. Bringing both knees into the chest. Rolling the ankles here. Might get a little snack, crackle, pop. Exhaling to send the left leg out long. We meet in wind relieving. Taking the left hand to the top of the right knee. We slowly twist our right knee all the way to the left side. Bringing our right arm long beside us, gazing past the fingertips. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. Exhaling to unravel. Now bringing the left leg into wind relieving, sending the right leg out long. We hug the knee into the chest just a little bit. Exhaling to bring the right hand to the top of the left knee. Slowly guiding the right knee all the way to the, guiding the left knee all the way to the right side. Extending our left arm long beside us, taking the gaze past our fingertips. One more deep breath here. Exhaling to unravel. Bringing both feet on the mat. Laying our hands out beside us, we are going to bring the legs in and up a wall here. At first it feel like your legs are about to fall, but then as you lean into it a little bit more, really extending your legs up straight, you start to feel like you're just floating here. Letting the legs be strong here, engaging your core to keep those legs strong. We're here for 1, slowly bend the knees into the chest, bringing our arms to wrap around the shins. Now letting the feet hit the mat kind of heavy. That should feel good. I like that move. Extending one leg out straight and then the other. We meet in Shavasana. Letting our hands rest on the lower belly here. Softening the gaze or closing your eyes. We want to unclench the jaw here, letting the tongue sit heavy in our mouth. Relaxing the face muscles. Taking our attention to our deep breaths here. Sorry, my stomach is singing. Taking a moment to let all of your thoughts be still. Showing gratitude for showing up on the mat today. Giving yourself a little bit of love. A little bit of feel good. It goes a long way. Relaxing the shoulders down into the mat. Relaxing the feet. Taking your left hand to the heart center, bringing your right hand to the bottom of your belly. Take a nice, loving, deep breath here. Exhaling any and everything that doesn't serve you. Exhaling to switch the hands around. Exhaling to bring both hands to your side here. We're going to be here for a little bit longer, so give in. Tucking the chin slightly into the neck. If you find your chin is pointing all the way up to the ceiling, let's just gently bring it down, keeping the spine nice and long. On your next, exhale gently, bat the eyes open. Bringing both feet to the floor. Slowly bumping the hips to one side as we slowly roll ourselves up. Oh. Taking a moment to just give ourselves a hug. Tucking the chin into the little opening that's here between the arms. Exhaling to release the arms, and that is where we end our flow today. Thank you for flowing with me. Until next time.